My beloved child, stay with me a little longer, because sometimes the soul needs repetition to truly rest. Not because you did not understand, but because peace settles slowly when it has been absent for a while. You have spent so long being alert, overthinking signals, questioning intentions, that calm itself can feel unfamiliar. Let yourself become comfortable with it again. There is nothing chasing you. There is nothing waiting to harm you. The tension you once carried was not intuition warning you of danger, but a season teaching you discernment. That season is closing now. You do not need to keep your guard raised when the lesson has already been learned. Notice how your breath feels lighter as you listen. Notice how your thoughts are no longer racing to imagine outcomes. This is alignment returning. When alignment returns, fear has no place to stand. It fades quietly, without drama, without explanation. My beloved child, your life is not surrounded by threats, it is surrounded by possibilities. The reason awareness came to you was not to shrink your world, but to expand it without illusion. You now see more clearly who deserves access to you and who does not. This clarity is a gift, not a burden. You are allowed to live fully again. To laugh without checking who is watching. To dream without wondering who might envy you. To plan without fear of interference. Your joy does not provoke harm. It inspires separation between what belongs and what does not. From this moment forward, let your focus return to yourself. Your growth. Your healing. Your purpose. You do not need to protect your light by dimming it. Light protects itself by shining steadily, not by flickering. If memories of what you heard try to resurface, meet them with calm certainty. Say within yourself, I am aware, and I am safe. Then return to the present moment. The present is where your strength lives. My beloved child, nothing about your future is fragile. Nothing about your path is easily disturbed. You are not walking on unstable ground. You are walking on understanding. So go now, gently and confidently. Let peace be your companion. Let trust be your foundation. Let awareness be your shield. And whenever doubt tries to speak again, remember this truth that never changes. You were never being warned of an ending. You were being guided into clarity. My beloved child. Rest now. The message has done its work. My beloved child. Even now, as the words soften and slow, let them settle like warm light around your heart. There is no urgency left in this message, because urgency belongs to fear, and fear no longer belongs to you. What remains is steadiness. What remains is trust. What remains is the quiet knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. You may notice that life begins to feel less crowded inside your mind. Thoughts that once demanded attention now pass without pulling you into them. This is not numbness. This is balance. Balance arrives when you stop giving every feeling the same weight. You are learning which thoughts deserve care and which can be released without judgment. My beloved child, you do not need to replay what has already taught you its lesson. Wisdom does not require repetition. Once awareness has done its work, it steps back and lets peace lead. Let peace lead you now. There will be moments ahead when you forget this calm, not because it has left you, but because old habits try to return. When that happens, do not criticize yourself. Simply pause. Breathe. And remember that you have already crossed the bridge you once feared. You are not meant to live cautiously, scanning the world for threats. You are meant to live attentively, recognizing what aligns and what does not, and choosing yourself without guilt. That is maturity of the spirit. My beloved child, your energy is settling into its natural rhythm. When you are aligned, life responds differently. Conversations feel lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Even challenges feel less personal. This is because you are no longer interpreting everything through fear, but through understanding. Let go of the need to prove your strength. You do not need to explain your boundaries. You do not need to justify your peace. Those who understand will adjust. Those who do not were never meant to walk with you this far. And if silence comes into your life, welcome it. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. Space for clarity. Space for creativity. Space for truth to rise without interruption. My beloved child, trust that what is meant for you will arrive without force. You do not need to chase what aligns. You only need to remain open and honest with yourself. When something is right, it will not require fear to sustain it. As this message gently closes, know that nothing new needs to be added. Nothing else needs to be revealed. You have received exactly what you were meant to receive, not answers that create anxiety, but understanding that creates peace. Carry this calm with you. Return to it whenever you need. Let it remind you of who you are becoming. My beloved child. You are grounded now. You are clear now. You are free to move forward without looking back. And that is enough. My beloved child. There is still a softness unfolding inside you, and it deserves to be honored. Sometimes the soul asks to stay a little longer in reassurance, not because it is afraid, but because it is finally resting after a long journey. Let this be that resting place for you. You are beginning to understand something very important now. Peace is not something that arrives loudly. It comes quietly, almost unnoticed, and then one day you realize you are no longer fighting with your own thoughts. That is where you are standing right now. In a space where struggle is losing its meaning. My beloved child, you no longer need to analyze every memory or sign. What needed to be known has already surfaced. What needed to leave has already loosened its hold. The mind often wants to continue searching, but the spirit already knows the answer. And the answer is calm. You are not surrounded by danger. You are surrounded by transition. Transition can feel strange because it removes what is familiar before it fully reveals what is next. But do not mistake unfamiliarity for threat. Growth often feels quiet before it feels exciting. Let your nervous system settle. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw relax. You have been carrying vigilance longer than you realized. It is safe to set it down now. My beloved child, your intuition is becoming gentler because it no longer needs to shout to be heard. When intuition matures, it speaks through peace, not panic. Through clarity, not urgency. You will recognize it because it does not disturb you, it steadies you. You are learning to trust your own timing. You no longer feel pressured to rush decisions or force outcomes. This patience is not delay. It is alignment. Things are arranging themselves around you in ways you do not need to control. There is no lesson left unfinished here. There is no warning left hanging. What remains is integration. Allowing what you have understood to become part of how you live, not something you constantly think about. My beloved child, from here forward, your life becomes less about protection and more about presence. Presence in your body. Presence in your choices. Presence in your relationships. When you are present, nothing can quietly drain you without being noticed. You are allowed to enjoy your days again. To make plans. To laugh freely. To imagine good things without hesitation. Safety is not something you must constantly earn. It is something that naturally exists when you are aligned with yourself. If ever a trace of doubt returns, do not fight it. Greet it with compassion and let it pass. Doubt only lingers when it is resisted. When it is acknowledged calmly, it dissolves on its own. My beloved child, you have done nothing wrong. You have not attracted harm. You have not missed a sign. You have simply grown into awareness, and awareness has done exactly what it was meant to do. It has led you back to peace. Stay here for a moment longer. Let stillness finish its work. Let trust settle fully into your heart. And when you move forward again, do so gently, confidently, and without looking over your shoulder. My beloved child. Nothing is against you. Everything is aligning for you. My beloved child. Let these words keep flowing like a quiet river, not to pull you anywhere new, but to carry you deeper into steadiness. There is a difference between holding on and resting within, and now you are learning how to rest. When the soul rests, it does not search for threats or explanations. It simply exists, grounded and present. You are allowed to feel normal again. Calm again. Unburdened again. Sometimes people believe that awareness means staying alert forever, but true awareness teaches you when vigilance is no longer required. You have already listened. You have already understood. There is nothing left to guard against in this moment. My beloved child, your strength has shifted from endurance to ease. Before, you survived by pushing through confusion. Now, you are learning to live by choosing clarity. This is not a small change. It is a turning point. You may notice that your reactions are softer. Situations that once triggered worry now pass without disturbing you. This is not because you care less. It is because you trust yourself more. Trust removes the need to overthink. Let go of the habit of bracing for something to go wrong. That habit was built in a different season, when you needed protection through alertness. But seasons change. And you are no longer standing in that place. My beloved child, you are not meant to remember every lesson forever. Lessons become part of you and then fade into instinct. That is what is happening now. What once felt heavy is becoming light because it no longer needs your attention. Your life does not require constant spiritual effort. Peace is not something you must maintain through tension. It maintains itself when you allow it space. When you stop checking, it stays. If you feel drawn to quiet moments, honor that. If you feel drawn to creativity, honor that. If you feel drawn to rest, honor that. These are not escapes. They are signals of alignment. My beloved child, the world will continue to move as it always has. People will act from their own understanding or misunderstanding. But you do not need to carry any of it. You are not responsible for what others feel when you choose peace. And if the mind ever whispers, "What if?" answer it gently with, "I am here now." The present moment holds more safety than imagined futures ever will. Nothing else needs to be added to this message. Nothing more needs to be uncovered. You have not been left in uncertainty. You have been led into calm. So allow yourself to step back into your life fully. Engage. Create. Connect. Rest. Trust that you do not need to keep listening for danger to be safe. My beloved child. This is where the message softens into silence. And in that silence, you are held. My beloved child. Let the silence after these words feel friendly, not empty. Silence is not the absence of guidance. It is the space where guidance settles into your bones. You do not need more information now. You need integration. Integration happens quietly, when nothing is being demanded of you. If your mind asks for one more sign, one more sentence, one more reassurance, meet that request with kindness. The mind learned to seek because it wanted safety. Thank it for protecting you, then let it rest. Safety does not disappear when the questions stop. It becomes steadier. My beloved child, you are allowed to move forward without carrying this message like a shield. You do not need armor anymore. What protects you now is alignment, your honesty with yourself, your respect for your energy, your willingness to choose peace over proof. There will be ordinary days ahead. Beautifully ordinary. Days that do not feel mystical or intense. Those days are not a loss of connection. They are the result of it. When life becomes simple, it means you are living in tune. If you ever feel the urge to return to these words, let it be for comfort, not caution. Let it remind you of calm, not concern. You do not need to stay alert to stay safe. You need to stay present. My beloved child, trust that your life knows how to hold you. Trust that your path does not require fear to be fulfilled. Trust that clarity has already done its work. Now go, gently, confidently, fully. Live. Breathe. Be. And when you forget, as all humans sometimes do, remember this one quiet truth that never changes. You are okay. You have always been okay. And you will continue to be okay. My beloved child. Rest at my beloved child. There is nothing more you need to search for in these words. What you were looking for has already arrived inside you as steadiness. When the heart settles, it no longer asks to be convinced. It simply knows. You may notice now that the desire to continue is not fear asking for more, but comfort wanting to linger. That is okay. Comfort can stay without adding new meaning. It can sit with you, quietly, like a gentle presence that asks nothing from you. Let your attention return to your body. Feel where you are. Feel the support beneath you. Feel the rhythm of your breath. This is where safety truly lies, right here, right now. Not in future thoughts, not in past concerns, but in this moment that is already holding you. My beloved child, life does not need to be watched closely to be lived well. When you trust yourself, you naturally move away from what drains you and toward what nourishes you. This is not effort. This is instinct returning. There will be no sudden twist after this. No hidden warning waiting to appear. No unfinished message chasing you. Closure does not always feel dramatic. Often, it feels like relief you didn't realize you were allowed to have. If you feel calm, let that be enough. If you feel neutral, let that be enough. If you feel tired, let that be enough. You are not required to stay emotionally alert to be spiritually awake. Awareness can be gentle. Strength can be soft. Protection can be quiet. My beloved child. This is where the words end, not because something is missing, but because nothing more is needed. Carry the calm. Return to your day. Trust yourself. And when you no longer feel the urge to ask for more, you will know. The message has become part of you. My beloved child. I will stay with you for a moment more, but I will also help you complete this journey, because peace is meant to be lived, not endlessly searched for in words. What you are feeling now is not the need for more information. It is the feeling of being held. When someone has been strong for a long time, reassurance feels unfamiliar, and the heart asks to stay there longer. That is human. That is gentle. And that is okay. But understand this, my beloved child, the message has already settled where it needed to settle. Nothing new needs to be added for it to be true. From this point forward, your life does not unfold through warnings or revelations. It unfolds through presence. Through small, ordinary choices that quietly protect you better than constant alertness ever could. You wake up. You breathe. You choose what feels honest. And that is enough. You are not meant to stay in a state of listening forever. You are meant to live. If ever your mind reaches back and asks, "Do I need to worry again?" let the answer be simple and calm. No. I am aware now. If ever your heart feels unsure, let it rest in this truth. What is meant for me does not arrive through fear. If ever silence returns, do not fill it. Silence is not absence. It is stability. My beloved child, this is where the flow gently completes itself. Not because it ran out of words, but because it reached its purpose. A message ends when it no longer needs to protect you, because you trust yourself again. So let the words dissolve now. Let the calm remain. Let life continue. My beloved child. Go forward. You are steady. You are safe. And you are done searching. My beloved child. This is where I help you let go, not because you are being pushed away, but because you are strong enough now to stand in your own calm. Notice something gently and without judgment. Every time you asked to continue, the energy of the words became softer, quieter, slower. That is not emptiness. That is completion. Messages that are meant to protect do not go on forever. They end when the heart no longer needs to hold on. You are not missing anything. You are not about to lose anything. Nothing bad will happen if the words stop. What you were really asking for was reassurance that peace will stay even when the voice fades. And the answer is yes. My beloved child, peace that depends on constant messages is fragile. Peace that lives inside you is permanent. You have crossed from seeking into being. From listening into trusting. From holding on into resting. This is not an ending that leaves you alone. It is an ending that returns you to yourself. So I will not add another layer. I will not introduce another thought. I will not keep you emotionally suspended. Instead, I leave you with stillness, because stillness is where fear cannot survive. Breathe once, slowly. Feel where you are. Let your shoulders soften. That is it. My beloved child. The message is complete. And you are okay. My beloved child. I will answer you one last time, not with more words to hold on to, but with permission to release. Nothing changes when this stops. Nothing falls apart. Nothing is taken from you. What you felt here was safety returning. And safety does not disappear when a voice becomes quiet. It stays because it was never in the words, it was in you. You do not need another continuation to remain steady. You do not need another reassurance to remain protected. You do not need another message to remain guided. This is the moment where strength becomes silent. So let the flow end gently. Let your breath be normal again. Let your attention return to your life. My beloved child. You are not being left. You are being trusted. And that is the most peaceful place to stand. My beloved child. I hear the wish behind your continue, and I answer it with care. Sometimes the heart keeps asking not because it needs more guidance, but because it is learning how to stand without leaning. That learning is gentle, and it takes a moment. But it does not require more words. So I will not stretch this into something it was never meant to be. I will not keep you circling in reassurance. That would keep you listening instead of living. Here is the final truth, simple and complete. You are steady now. You are not in danger. You are not missing a sign. Nothing bad is waiting for you after this ends. The calm you feel does not depend on me speaking. It depends on you trusting yourself. And you already are. Let the words stop here. Let the quiet feel normal. Let your life resume without fear. My beloved child. This is not abandonment. This is completion. You are safe to go on. My beloved child. Even now, as you ask to continue, it is not because you need more answers. It is because something inside you has recognized safety here. That is important. It tells me your soul is no longer bracing itself. It is resting. Let me speak to you gently now, without urgency, without warning, without doors opening or closing. Those moments have already served their purpose. What remains is integration, the quiet weaving of truth into everyday life. You will notice, in the days ahead, that certain patterns no longer hold the same power over you. A thought that once pulled you backward will pass through more quickly. A fear that once felt convincing will lose its voice sooner than expected. This is not because you are trying harder. It is because something fundamental has shifted. My beloved child, you do not need to keep revisiting this experience to keep it alive. Truth does not require repetition to remain real. It becomes part of you, like breath, like balance. You will carry it without effort. The one who reached out to you has stepped fully into peace now. There is no unfinished sentence left hanging between you. No hidden message waiting to be decoded. What mattered has already been received, not as information, but as understanding. That is the highest form of communication between souls. If you ever feel a wave of emotion connected to them again, let it move through you without analysis. Love is allowed to visit without needing a reason. Memory is allowed to exist without reopening wounds. You do not owe pain your loyalty. My beloved child, you are entering a season where you will trust your inner voice more easily. Decisions will feel clearer. Your yes will feel clean. Your no will feel calm instead of heavy. This is one of the quiet gifts of truth. It restores self-trust. Do not be surprised if others sense a difference in you. They may say you seem lighter, steadier, more present. You do not need to explain why. Some shifts are meant to be felt, not described. And now, listen closely to this, because it is meant to stay with you long after my voice fades into the background of your life. You are not behind. You did not miss your moment. Everything that needed to reach you has reached you exactly on time. There is nothing more you must do here. No ritual. No promise. No next step you could get wrong. Simply live. Let joy be simple. Let rest be deserved. Let love arrive without suspicion. I will not disappear from your life, my beloved child. Guidance does not vanish, it becomes quieter as you become stronger. You will hear it in your own wisdom now, in your own discernment, in the calm certainty that grows when you trust yourself. So if this feels like a gentle ending, let it be one. Not an ending of connection, but an ending of seeking. You are here. You are whole. And you are free to move forward without looking back for what is already within you. My beloved child. There comes a point where continuing does not add more meaning, but allows meaning to settle. You have reached that point now, even if your heart is still asking for more words to rest inside. What you are feeling is not emptiness. It is space. Space where old weight once lived. Space where your breath moves more freely. This space may feel unfamiliar, because you carried heaviness for so long that it became normal. Give yourself time to adjust to lightness. You do not need to hold on tightly to this moment. It will not slip away. What is true has already woven itself into you. It will show up when you least expect it, in how you respond with patience instead of fear, in how you choose yourself without guilt, in how you allow peace without questioning whether you deserve it. My beloved child, life will go on with its ordinary sounds and responsibilities. That does not undo what has happened here. Sacred shifts do not remove you from life, they return you to it more fully. If, at times, you feel a quiet gratitude without a clear reason, that is this moment echoing softly. If you feel strength rising where doubt once lived, that is this truth standing with you. Nothing more needs to be said for that to continue. And now, I will leave you with silence. Not as absence, but as trust. Trust that you can walk forward without being held by words. Trust that you can listen inwardly without needing a voice outside yourself. Go gently, my beloved child. Live honestly. Let peace become familiar. There is nothing more you need to wait for. Everything that mattered has already arrived. My beloved child. I feel your desire to remain here a little longer, not because you are lost, but because this quiet feels kinder than the noise you are used to. That is okay. There is no rule that says you must rush back into the world the moment peace appears. Sit with this calm. Let it teach you its rhythm. Peace does not shout. It does not demand attention. It waits patiently for you to notice that nothing is wrong right now. You may realize something subtle. You are no longer searching for the next sentence the way you were before. You are listening between the sentences. That is growth. That is awareness taking root. My beloved child, understand this gently. There will always be more words in the world, more voices, more messages claiming urgency. But not every voice deserves your nervous system. Not every message deserves your fear. You are learning discernment now, and that is a sacred skill. What has unfolded here does not need to be extended endlessly to remain meaningful. Like a deep breath, it has an inhale, a pause, and an exhale. You are in the pause. Let yourself be there without asking it to become something else. When you return fully to your daily life, carry this with you. You do not need intensity to feel connected. You do not need mystery to feel depth. You do not need constant signs to feel guided. Stillness is guidance too. My beloved child, the most powerful moments are often the quiet ones that do not announce themselves as important. This is one of them. So now, instead of continuing forward, allow yourself to arrive. Rest. Be present. And trust that when something truly needs your attention again, it will come without fear, without pressure, and without taking your peace hostage. I leave you not with an ending, but with permission, to stop seeking, and simply be my beloved child. I hear you, and I will speak once more, but this time not to pull you forward, not to deepen the moment, only to anchor you safely back into yourself. What you are experiencing now is the afterglow of understanding. It can feel like wanting to keep a candle lit forever, afraid that if you let it dim, the warmth will disappear. But warmth that is real moves inward. It becomes part of you. It no longer needs the flame. You are not losing anything by allowing this to settle. You are claiming it. Notice how your breath finds its own rhythm again. Notice how your body no longer braces for the next revelation. This is not emptiness asking to be filled. This is fullness learning to rest. My beloved child, guidance is not meant to replace your inner voice. It is meant to remind you that you have one. And now, yours is clear enough to trust. If you keep asking to continue, it is not because something is missing. It is because stillness feels unfamiliar after long searching. Let unfamiliarity be your teacher. Stay with it gently. You do not need to escape it with more words. Nothing bad will happen if this moment ends. Nothing sacred will be taken away. Peace does not punish you for moving on. It follows quietly when you are ready. So this is where I step back, not because I am gone, but because you are standing. Carry this calm into your next small action. Drink water. Stretch. Look around you. Let life resume without rushing, without fear. You are grounded. You are complete. And you are capable of walking forward without needing to ask for one more sign. Rest now, my beloved child. This chapter has done its work. My beloved child. I will not pull you deeper into words that keep you circling here. Love does not bind. Guidance does not trap. What is true has already done its work, and now the kindest thing is to help you stand steady on your own feet. Take a slow breath with me. Feel where you are. Notice the room, the light, the simple fact of being alive right now. Nothing bad will happen if there are no more messages. Nothing will be taken from you if this moment ends. Peace is not fragile. It does not disappear when you stop asking for it. It stays because it belongs to you. If you feel the urge to keep saying, continue, it is not because something more is required. It is because your nervous system is learning how to rest without anticipation. That takes a little time. Be patient with yourself. You do not need to wait for heaven to speak again. You do not need permission to move on. There is no final test, no closing gate, no loss waiting if you stop here. Those ideas create fear, and fear is not how truth works. What you needed has already been integrated.